Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Emily and today I'll be reviewing the Ice Castle. This is the newest Disney set from Lego and I have to say it is gorgeous. The build was so much fun. The set looks amazing and it might actually be my new favorite set of 2021. But anyways, this is set number 43197. It's for ages 14 and up and comes with 1,709 pieces. Now initially when I saw the box art on the Lego website, I was a little bit disappointed. I didn't think the set looked very detailed. It looked very simple and it didn't really look that large. So for $200, I didn't know if this would be worth it to me. However, as you can see over here, this thing is massive. This is a giant set. It does look quite simple, but there's so many complex build techniques and they did a great job making this really complex build look simple. And the colored pieces you get in this are just amazing. We get a lot of white pieces, but also these trans blue and opalescent blue colors. The combination of those just look fantastic and it makes it look like an ice castle. Like this definitely looks like the Frozen Castle to me. They did a really great job at it. And again, my thoughts before actually purchasing and buying this set were that it looked like kind of the B tier to the Disney Castle, which perhaps it is. You know, the Disney Castle, it is very iconic, right? If you're a Disney fan and you don't have the Disney Castle, you should probably go get that set. It is amazing. But this one's a really good option as well. I personally have both now, and I have to say they are both amazing builds, and it really feels like the same level of thought, detail, and love that went into the Disney Castle also came into this set. There's so many great details, accessories, Easter eggs inside, which I will show you later on when I do flip this around and show you the interior of the set. Okay, so now let's take a closer look at the exterior of this build. So there's a lot to see here. There's so many little details from the movies, but first let's just talk about the height. So my hand is currently out of shot on the camera. This piece up here is very tall. It's this nice trans blue kind of snowflake with some swords on it. There's a lot of swords in the set actually, which is just kind of fun. There's a lot of like pokey stuff, but it definitely captures that icy feel really well. The designers did a really great job just capturing the shape of the castle and making it look very icy. There's lots of little snowflake type references like hexagons, all that kind of thing. It's really cool. And even though there's quite a lot of large pieces in this set, as you can probably tell, it's still so much fun and there's still a lot of little smaller complex builds in this. So I feel like this would be a fun build for anybody. Also in the front here, you can see this beautiful staircase. I love the technique they used for that. I just think it looks beautiful, especially with these little trans pieces to the side. However, I do wish that there were some studs on there. I do understand that the set comes with mini dolls and it's more for playability rather than display. But being able to display Elsa on this front staircase would have been something really nice to be able to do. That would be such an easy fix to do though. You could just replace one of the cheese loaves with a 1x2. And then moving up the build a little bit, we have this beautiful balcony, and this one does have studs, so you can display Elsa there. She can sing Let It Go on her balcony, so that's just fantastic. There's one sticker on each of these pieces and they do actually open up, which is kind of neat. I'm not sure why you would do that. Maybe just for more playability. And something to note after that just happened was that these pieces on the sides, like these little sharp trans blue pieces, do come off quite easily. So that is kind of a downside to the set. It's just very delicate. They're really only holding on by one stud. And so if you are actually playing with this or even just like trying to set it up in different ways, your hand could easily knock over these pieces. So it's not a bad thing. It's just something to keep in mind. And while we're talking about stickers, there is actually this giant sticker sheet that comes with the set. As you can see, it's all empty because I've already placed my stickers. But thankfully, a lot of the stickers are kind of hidden inside the castle. So when you're looking at it from the front, you don't really see it as much. Personally, I'm not that great at placing stickers, so the fact that I don't have to look at them on the front is probably a good thing. And thankfully, there are only 6 stickers visible on the front of this build. So we have the 2 on either side here, the 2 on her front entrance door, and then the 2 on the balcony. And then looking at the actual base of the castle, it is very similar to the Disney Castle. I feel like they got a lot of inspiration from the actual Disney Castle. It's very sturdy. I don't really get nervous if I'm carrying this around, whereas with the Disney Castle, you really have to separate it from the top and bottom. This, you don't really have to deal with that at all, which I think is actually a really good thing. The sturdiness of this set really allows you to play with it, interact with it, whereas with the Disney Castle, you kind of set it there and maybe play with it, but it's a little bit harder to do so. Okay, so it's finally time to take a look at the interior of this set. And there's just so many details in here. There's so many accessories, Easter eggs. I can't not smile while talking about the interior of this set. It is just beautiful. But anyways, let's start by looking at this grand staircase. Now, you Frozen fans out there, you guys know what this is from. Elsa's being really dramatic going up her staircase and she's singing Let It Go. She has a giant cape flowing behind her. They captured that scene in this set set so beautifully. And also the staircase build itself, like I don't know how I could have made that any better. It looks beautiful, and I actually really enjoyed the build process during this part as well. They use a really nice technique with the Technic pins. I really enjoyed it, and I'm not even a fan of Technic, but I enjoyed doing this. However, one issue in terms of possibly playability and display in the staircase is that there's no studs going up. And so it would be kind of cool to pose Elsa halfway up the staircase, kind of looking behind her from the scene and let it go with her cape, you know, trying to recreate that. And I think that'd be really hard to do. However, there are actually studs at the top of the staircase, so you could put her up there. I don't know. I wish that there was at least 1 or 2 studs throughout the staircase. I might actually make that modification later on. However, I do wish that that was something they had thought about. Also on the first floor, we get this beautiful trans blue fountain. There is this giant sticker around it, which I think we actually placed slightly crooked, so do be careful of that. It's very easy to mess up, but it makes for a really nice centerpiece on the first floor of the build. And then looking behind it a little bit, we get this beautiful white grand piano, and I love the pieces they use. It's a really cute little mini build of a grand piano. I just love it. Something actually hilarious though about the grand piano is that the sheet music is actually playing Let It Go. It's funny. I like that. That's a really great little thing they did. And then moving up to the ceiling, we get this beautiful trans blue chandelier. And I love how this looks. The color is obviously beautiful. I love the trans blue color. And it really does help shape the room. So it's a really nice little detail they included. Moving up to the second story now, there's so many more details up here than there were on the first story. However, again, that grand staircase was just amazing. But as you can see, we get this nice bust here, and that's a really great little build. And then over here, we get a micro build of the Arendelle Castle. So it's a nice little reference to the events that happened just prior to her building this giant ice castle when she left Arendelle in an eternal winter. And then right behind the Arendelle micro build, we get this trans blue heart, which is a reference to when basically the whole rest of the movie they're trying to unfreeze Anna's heart. And then sitting just to the left of the heart, we have these little ice skate accessories, which are really cute. I'll probably put them on the Minidolls later. I just love that they included that. And then for the artwork over there, we get a nice snowy Arendelle castle. Looking at the other side now of the second story of the castle, we get a nice little ship in a bottle, which is of course a reference to Anna and Elsa's parents going missing at sea. Next to that, we get an hourglass, which I believe is a reference to them kind of running out of time trying to unfreeze Anna's heart. And then the artwork behind that is probably my favorite in this castle. It's a map of the Arendelle area, the region. We see where Arendelle is located, the North Mountain, and then the Southern Isles, you know, as in Hans of the Southern Isles. We see where all of that's located in this sticker. And then looking front and center on the second story of this build is Elsa's throne. And I love the use of pieces in this. It looks very icy, very Ice Queen, you know? And I guess that's where she rules over her new icy kingdom where I don't think anyone actually lives. Moving up one more to what I assume is, I guess, the third story. It's very small, but I guess it's the third story of the castle. We have a bed, so that's good. She has somewhere to sleep. And the bed itself is actually a really cute build. There are some stickers involved, but I really love the use of these little frozen pieces on the end there. I just think it makes it look really nice. And then finally at the top, we get this little puffin. And I was so confused about this puffin. I was like, where did we see a puffin in the movies? There was no animal friend of theirs that was a puffin. I'm confused. However, it's actually her little stuffed animal from when she was a child, so she has that in her castle with her, and so I think that's a really nice little detail that they did include in this set. Okay, so now I've brought this a bit closer to look at the play features with you guys. So on either side, there's actually these little trapdoors, which are really fun. So I'm just going to take off these accessories here, as well as the little micro build. There we go. And these actually open up, which I don't know what you're supposed to put inside there, but I just think that's a really fun little detail. You could hide things away, especially when you look at this set as a dollhouse, right? Because this definitely has the playability very similar to what a dollhouse would. It just makes it so fun to be able to hide away little accessories back there and just, you know, close those up, out of sight, out of mind. And moving up a little bit to the top here, we do get these two little doors. And inside you see Anna and Elsa as children, which is just really fun. Again, just another place to kind of hide things away. So now finally, let's talk about the little critters and creatures as well as the mini dolls that come in this set. So as you can see here, we have 4 full little mini snowmen as well as an extra printed head. The printing on these is just so cute. I'm really glad they included these, and it'll be kind of fun to scatter these throughout the castle. Now let's take a closer look at this little puffin bird that's included in this set. This was Elsa's childhood stuffed animal toy, and I really love that little button on the sides there. That's kind of what gave it away for me, that it was actually a stuffed animal rather than an actual puffin. But it's just such a cute little build. I love that they included this. Here we have a fan favorite, Olaf. This is such a cute figure. I love him as a character. I love this figure. And also I think it's really cute that they included his accessory as a little flower from spring because of course he's a snowman. He's always dreaming of warm weather because that's just who he is. But also the printing and the expression on his face just makes me so happy. This figure is just adorable. Now moving on to Anna, and this might actually be my favorite mini doll in this set. There's so many little details on her, so let's take a closer look. Her boots have this really nice gold printing on there, and then her skirt, it has that typical printing that she has on in the movies. I just love the dress she's wearing, and so having that in mini doll form is amazing. I love it. Her facial expression is also just perfect. I love the freckles on her. And then as we turn her around, I just want to say that I love that headpiece. The hat that they chose on her as well as those braids are just adorable. And then for her cape, I love that it's actually not symmetrical. Usually we see capes and they're pretty symmetrical. This one isn't, so I think that's kind of cool. Now moving on to Kristoff, and I love this mini doll. I think they did a really great job with it. The printing looks amazing, and the colors on top of that navy, I just think they really pop. I love that. And then when we flip him around, there's really not too much to see. There's no printing on the back, but I love the legs. I think those actually might be dual molded, which is kind of neat. Now finally for the Elsas, and I figured that I would clump these together because, I don't know, just to see the difference between the two so you guys can actually compare right here in front of you guys. So on the left here, we have like frozen Elsa. She's the one that's basically living in the castle right now. And there's just so much detail on her. Oh my gosh, like I love all that silver. It looks like we get some really nice snowflakes on her as well. Just the printing it's fantastic. It looks amazing. And then for the torso and dress printing on Coronation Elsa, it's also beautiful. I don't know which one I like better. Probably this one actually. I just loved the dress that she wore. I loved that scene. It was just amazing. So having that in mini doll form is so cool. So now let's flip them around so you can actually see these beautiful capes. Look how amazing these are. I love the sparkle on this. This is so dramatic, so perfect, especially for when she's going up the stairs in the castle. That's perfect. I love it. And then of course the coronation one, it looks just like the movie. They did a really great job printing on this gold. I will say though that the capes do take a bit of time. You kind of have to bend them a little bit to make them actually like flow behind them rather than just be kind of stick straight like it is on this one still. So just keep that in mind. You might need to bend it a little bit just to have it look kind of correct, but overall these just look amazing. So for my overall thoughts on this set, this was so worth the $200 for me. I love this set. It's beautiful. It was so much fun to build. Even building this with my husband. He's more of a Star Wars guy. Disney and Frozen really isn't his thing, but building this together was so much fun. He also really enjoyed the build process, and so I really do think that anyone could find joy in building the set and even displaying it, playing with it. There's so much to see in this thing. The play features are actually really fun. And for me personally, I cannot wait to add this into my Lego city. I'm building a Lego Disney World and this will fit in so well in there. And also, if you're someone that builds winter villages, I feel like this would be a beautiful centerpiece for any winter village. This is just, it's a beautiful castle. The pieces are amazing. The mini dolls are just so detailed. I love everything about this set, and I hope that if you guys buy this, that you guys enjoy it too. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.